The Seattle Seahawks exist because the city of Seattle sued the NFL. Not lobbied for a team, not petitioned, sued. And the franchise they got was compensation for the one that got away. In 1972, Seattle landed an NFL expansion franchise called the Seattle Kings. The ownership group was led by a group of local businessmen who'd been pitching the league since the mid-1960s. The NFL granted the franchise in June of that year, set to begin play in 1976. Within a year, the franchise was dead. The ownership group couldn't secure financing for a new stadium. Seattle's existing facility, the Kingdom, wouldn't be ready until 1976, the same year the team was supposed to start. The NFL offered to delay the start date, but the owners couldn't wait. In 1974, they sold the franchise to a group in Southern California. The team became the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seattle had lost its NFL franchise before it ever played a down. The city didn't take it quietly. In 1975, the city of Seattle, King County, and the state of Washington filed an antitrust lawsuit against the NFL. The suit claimed the league had acted in bad faith by awarding the franchise and then allowing it to relocate before it ever played. They argued the NFL had effectively used Seattle as leverage to force stadium upgrades, never intending the team to stay. The NFL settled before trial. The settlement had one condition. Seattle would get another expansion franchise immediately. In December 1974, just months after the lawsuit was filed, the NFL awarded Seattle an expansion team to begin play in 1976. The ownership group was different this time. The Nordstrom family, the department store dynasty, along with local contractors and businessmen, put up the cash. The team still needed a name. The frontrunner was the Seattle Kings, a holdover from the original franchise name. But the NBA already had the Kansas City Kings, and the NHL's Los Angeles Kings weren't thrilled either. The ownership group held a public naming contest. Over 20,000 entries came in. The finalists were the Skippers, the Pioneers, and the Seahawks. The Seahawks won, a nod to the osprey, a fish-hunting bird common in the Pacific Northwest. The franchise began play in 1976, the same year the Kingdom opened. Their first head coach was Jack Patera, a former linebacker who'd never been a head coach before. Their first draft pick was a defensive tackle from Oklahoma named Steve Niehaus. Their first game was a loss to the St. Louis Cardinals, 30-24. They finished their inaugural season 2-12, tied for the worst record in the NFC. It took 7 years for the Seahawks to post a winning season. In 1983, under head coach Chuck Knox, they went 9-7 and made the playoffs for the first time. They beat the Denver Broncos in the wildcard round, then lost to the Miami Dolphins in the divisional. It wasn't the championship, but it was proof the franchise could compete. The real turning point came in the 2000s. In 2002, the Seahawks moved from the Kingdom, which had been demolished, to a new open-air stadium, now called Lumen Field. The stadium was designed to trap and amplify crowd noise. It worked. The Seahawks developed one of the loudest home field advantages in professional sports, loud enough to cause measurable seismic activity during games. In 2005, under head coach Mike Holmgren, the Seahawks won the NFC Championship for the first time and went to Super Bowl 40. They lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers 21-10, in a game still disputed by fans who believe the officiating cost them the title. But the breakthrough came in 2013. The Seahawks, led by quarterback Russell Wilson and one of the most dominant defenses in NFL history, won Super Bowl 48. They destroyed the Denver Broncos, 43-8, in one of the most lopsided Super Bowl victories ever. The franchise that existed because of a lawsuit had become a dynasty. Seattle sued the NFL and won a football team. Not because the league wanted to expand, but because the alternative was worse. Next time, we head to the NHL and the franchise that almost never made it out of the 1970s.